All right, so we talked about the previous episode on yesterday. We talked about the NFL offseason. We talked about Joe Burrow. Oh, and we talked about Thunder beat the Cavs last Sunday, and Javonte Williams gets a 3-year deal with the Cowboys. And we talked about Brown and Pritchard. Celtics win over the Lakers 2 days ago. And we also paid a tribute of the passing of Rondell Moore. So what's coming up on episode 35? Good morning. Welcome to JDB's Morning Cap. Today is February 24th, 2026. And I am excited that March is approaching. So hopefully you have a fantastic 24th. So we are looking forward to today's morning cap. What's in this topic here today? So let's pick up where we left off on the final segment of this talk show from yesterday. Let's talk the Raiders defensive player, Maxx Crosby. Maxx Crosby's situation is continuing. However, the Raiders are intend to keep Maxx Crosby for a time being until the trade deal could be done during this off season. So now the problem is for Maxx Crosby, I think it's time him to move on from Maxx Crosby, if that's the case. So if the Raiders decided to stay Maxx Crosby, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult for the Raiders to have a permanent leadership. I understand what Maxx has been going through his own mind, because it felt like he wants to leave Las Vegas. On a very good note, he's done some good things. He was top 3 voting defensive player of the year. Or top 5, top 10, whatever. But no one deserves a lot of credit other than Maxx Crosby. I mean, that's more than anyone else. Like I said, when we picked up where we left off yesterday, we talked about what if Maxx Crosby does get traded? Which future is more concerned, Crosby or A.J. Brown? I mean, it's definitely A.J. Brown, but we'll get to that a little later on this segment as well. But this is a golden opportunity for Maxx to inhale and exhale, like whether or not he's staying or going. But they said they expect Maxx Crosby to stay with the Raiders despite the trade rumors, because they have to aware Crosby has to aware that he has to realize that whether or not if Crosby shows up to camp, it could affect his contract status. Although Maxx is 28 years old. He'll be 29 on August 22nd. So, I mean, there's a pretty good chance he could be traded before his 29th birthday. I mean, sooner than later, we've seen so many good players in the past. Myles Garrett. And then you got Michael Parsons, Khalil Mack. So many defensive greats for the NFL defensive teams. And then you got so many good generations, very good young generations over the years. I mean, this is what happened for the Raiders. The Raiders have every right to trade Maxx Crosby. But what team he's going to destinate? That's the question. Could be Houston, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, New York. New York Giants, I should say. Most likely New York Giants. We could see Pittsburgh Steelers working with T.J. Watt. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. Like I said earlier, they want what's best for the team, best for the franchise. I mean, this is where they know where it's coming from. And this is a golden opportunity to have the Raiders giving Crosby away. It's understandable. Remember last time? Defensive Player of the Year, 2016-17 Defensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack was traded and signed with the Chicago Bears and got the Bears team to make the playoffs. You put yourself in a really, really tough spot, my man. It's really challenging. It is absolutely challenging. You hate to see that situation. Where's the situation coming from? It's a difficult path for someone who doesn't earn their trust. The trust is going to be an issue. If that's going to be the case, but not. It is so difficult to understand when Maxx Crosby will have themselves in mind. So let's say the Raiders had draft someone else, and then you lose Maxx Crosby in his own cause. It's inexplicable. You put yourself in a really, really tough spot. Hold on a second. So as I'm saying that the Raiders and Maxx Crosby are putting themselves in a really, really tough spot. So that's where I picked up what I left off. We'll also want to talk about, I'm going to stick with Maxx Crosby for another few more minutes, and then I'll move on from other features, whatever that stuff, what I said earlier in this segment. But the Raiders are still I think the Raiders are clearly going for a young, heavy roster. They really want it because they already hired Clint Kubiak as the head coach. They have the younger coaching staff. I mean, will this team will be better next year or the year after that? Yeah, they could be better either at least this year or the year after. And they're possibly going to draft Fernando Mendoza, the number 1 overall pick of this draft. So this is a golden opportunity that the Raiders are looking for they're going to evaluate every NFL Raiders player to who do you think who's staying and who do you think who's moving on. Excluding Ashton Genty, this will be his second season of his 4-year rookie deal. So they're going to evaluate the players who stay or who do you think who's moving on. So same as after the preseason. When the preseason comes to an end, they're going to evaluate every player one by one. This is key for them. Who's going to make the full squad? Trying to make this team better. They're going to make this team better. They're trying to be disciplined. But this is going to be difficult for the Raiders to put them. Yes, the wins will be still low for the Raiders, but they got some decent potential. The potential is decent for the Raiders. The win totals are still going to be low, despite they have decent potential. So that's the case right now. The Raiders are thinking about how they can really step it up for them, and that's what this is all about. You have to take something away. From everyone else, then you want to take your leadership over this. Now you could say that if Maxx Crosby can always standing out, then you can take into that mix, but it would have worked. It would have worked. If that's the case, then the Raiders will have some kind of interest to share for it. Then we had some other huge moments that you're coming from, but it's a little less conversation. It would have they would not. It's not anyone who can really step it up, and then that's going to be the case. Then you have your own difference makers. Then you have your own appearance, and then you have your own wins. Then it's going to matter them the most. Then maybe it's the best than I thought. It would have mattered themselves, but so what Raiders will have to evaluate the roster. They're going to evaluate Geno Smith. They're going to evaluate Trey Tucker. They're going to evaluate Brock Bowers. He hasn't been healthy for much of that season. He could start the season on the injury list if he's not healthy enough at the camp. So this is a golden opportunity. The Raiders will evaluate every player. Raiders are clearly a 3-win team. Raiders are 3-14. But no Maxx. If Maxx Crosby could leave Las Vegas. Speaking of which, where the Raiders have their schedule this year. Raiders have a last place schedule for the second consecutive year. Raiders have been last place more times since 2002. Raiders and Browns have been last place in their respective divisions since 2002. So that's quite a lot. So for the Raiders, 3-14 record in 2025-2026 season. Look at their schedule for the Raiders. Raiders get 9 road games. Raiders will have 8 home games. Raiders will have divisional opponents on the road with Kansas City, the Chargers, and the Broncos. And then the NFC West has 49ers and the Cardinals. They'll play the Saints in the NFC South opponent. Then they gotta play the Jets on the road, Patriots on the road, and then they gotta play the Browns. I believe that's 9 road games. The 8 home games is the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos. Those are 3 divisional opponents at home. And then you gotta play the Rams at home, the Seahawks at home. You gotta play the Bills, the Jets. Actually, not Jets. The Dolphins on the road. You play the Jets and the Patriots. And then back to home schedule. Then you gotta play the Titans. So those are the home schedule for the Raiders in 2026. So let me do the schedule one more time. 9 road games has Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Jets, Patriots, Saints, Browns, 49ers, Cardinals. I believe that's 9 road games. And then home has Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Rams, Seahawks, Dolphins, Bills, and the Titans. So those are opponents for 17 games next year. All right. So, like I said, which future is more concerned, A.J. Brown or Maxx Crosby? Like I said, it's A.J. Brown. The Philadelphia Eagles are still waiting for answers from A.J. Brown. This is a situation that you're going to be going in. And this is a different situation right now. And I know A.J. Brown has been going through it right now. This is an opportunity you have to wait. But A.J. Brown is your guy to face with. But A.J. Brown, I believe they say they're confident they're staying in Philadelphia. I don't feel confident that he's going to stay in Philly. I think he can go to New England to work with Mike Vrabel. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this throughout last week, and I'm going to say it over and over again. A.J. Brown could go to New England and try to get back to the Super Bowl and win it this time. They want to win the Super Bowl. I think the expectations is actually much higher than they were in the previous. The expectations coming into the previous season for the Patriots weren't as high as it was. They've gone from the low expectations to Super Bowl bound, and now they get their higher expectations. So A.J. Brown could go to New England, leave Philly for New England. That would be a good fit for them to work with Drake May, and now working with Stephon Diggs. This is a situation you don't want to miss. I mean, it's going to help. It's going to help their own cause. So this is the best way to destinate themselves. And it's really easy to figure things out to go with it. So you could really you really want to take this deal off the board, but that's what the difference is all about. You'll take that at this point on in this one. So it's gonna change it out. So A.J. Brown's future is still. It's more concerning than Maxx Crosby. So no surprise right now. All right, so coming up on JDB's morning cap, Victor Wemby and the Spurs leads the way in Detroit. Battle of the best records in the league. And then the Cowboys wants answers from Pickens after he placed on a franchise tag. Is this concerning? And also we're going to talk March Madness. We'll step away in 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so welcome back here. The Spurs squared off the Pistons in Detroit. Hey. But Vassel, actually Victor Wemby had a double-double, 21 points and 17 rebounds and 6 blocks. But it's Vassel leading the way with 28 points and 7 made three-pointers and 4 assists as the Spurs beat the Pistons 114-103. In Detroit, the Spurs improved to 41-16. Pistons fall to 42-14. And so, let's talk about the Spurs. Right now, out here, are the Spurs team for real? Are they NBA Finals contender after the win? Well, quite honest with you, I'm gonna say yes for resounding yes. I'm resounding yes on this. We talk about the San Antonio Spurs. This team has shown a gigantic resounding of resiliency for the San Antonio Spurs. If it does matter for them, Victor could still qualify awards, but he needs to be careful. He's missed these few games away from ineligible from awards, so he's got to be careful as far as health or suspension or otherwise. But Victor is having a solid year, so he needs to be healthy. He cannot miss any more games. So missing significant of the time in the early quarter of the season isn't going to help their cause. But I'm still faithing with the Spurs. I'm still faithing with the Spurs to get to the finals. So it's probably more, it's less than a long shot. I think I wouldn't say definitive, but I think they got a pretty good chance. You got Oklahoma City still in the mix despite the injuries from these star players. You got Denver trying to search for more consistency. Houston still trying to search more consistency. So Spurs are in the patient mode for this. Victor Wembanyama had 6 blocks yesterday. He didn't shoot the ball great, just 6 for 16 from the field. But he done other things. He had 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 blocks, and a steal. Wemby and Vassel had 28 points, 7 3-pointers made, 4 assists, a block as well. The Spurs, they did shoot 45% from long range, but they only shot 42% from the field. But the defense, the Spurs held the Pistons to 38% from the field, 19% from long distance. And the Spurs defense forced 15 Pistons turnovers. However, they got out-rebounded by the Pistons by 5, 55-50 in favor of the Pistons. We had 36 combined offensive rebounds, 20 for Detroit, 16 for San Antonio. Spurs defense had 8 steals yesterday. So there's a lot of good things for the Spurs last night. And there's no getting around it. With Greg Popovich stepping down as head coach from after last year, Mitch Johnson, I believe he could win the Coach of the Year this year. I believe he has a chance to win a Coach of the Year. Mitch Johnson has done a solid job. Young team. Now you got a superstar, Victor Wembanyama. Now you got De'Aaron Fox. Now you got an X factor of Devin Vassell. So I believe he has a chance to succeed. I believe the Spurs have clearly overachieved for multiple reasons. Number one, I believe the Spurs, that if the Spurs end up top 3 in the West, that's overachieving. That's the first reason. The second reason, if the Spurs make the finals, that's overachieving. So winning the West is overachieving. Being a top 2 of the West is overachieving. And then winning the finals would be the greatest achievement in Mitch Johnson's young coaching career. And prove it to it, because Mitch Johnson deserves a Coach of the Year consideration. Yes, it has to do with heavy injuries, but the next man up mentality has worked as planned. And on-the-court contributions have been impressive. And because this team, the one stat I've been worked at is the on-court ability, on-court execution, and on-court success, and off-court success. Everybody, this is about on-court contributions other than Wemby and Fox and Vassell, Keldon Johnson. They got a pretty good bench. The bench is pretty good. You got Champagnie, you got Castle, you got Barnes, Harper, Cornette. You got some guys either as bench players or supporting casts. I mean, this Spurs team is legit to get to the finals, and they could face the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. Keep that in mind. The Spurs have won 4 out of 5 times in the regular season, which is a 4-1 record. Spurs have won 80% of their games against the Thunder in the regular season, including the in-season tournament semifinals in Las Vegas in December. I mean, and now you put yourself in the best win mode. You Spurs have best wins against the Lakers twice. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Thunder 4 out of 5 times. You beat the Rockets twice. You beat the Nuggets. I mean, and you beat the Celtics as well. So we've seen a lot of best wins for the Spurs. They've been doing this all year long. And now they're off to Toronto, another winning team. The Spurs are actually have success against greater than 500. When you're number 2 seed, this is the difference. If they keep the number 2 seed by the end of the season, then you'll take it. Now the Spurs can clinch the winning record with a win at least tomorrow in Toronto. This will be the first winning record in about almost 5-6 years. So they clearly accomplished that feat for this one. So you would have took that one here. So for the Pistons, I think they can finish the season the best record in the NBA. But the Thunder has the best record in the NBA right now with that Pistons loss. So that will be that. Pistons will play the Thunder tomorrow in Detroit. Let's see how that plays out. All right, coming up next, we'll talk George Pickens. We'll talk March Madness, and then we'll end the show from here. We'll be right back. Welcome back here. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. So what just happened? What is the difference? Now the Cowboys are still searching for answers after George Pickens placing on the franchise tag about a few weeks ago. So the question is, what is the difference between Javonte Williams re-signing a 3-year deal with the Cowboys and George Pickens placing on the franchise tag? I'm going to answer this question now. We talk about Javonte Williams re-signing a 3-year contract with the Cowboys because he deserves an opportunity he deserves another opportunity to try and get to the playoffs and hopefully get to the Super Bowl. He'll be a difference maker for the Cowboys. As for George Pickens, placing on a franchise tag, he doesn't. Which means he wants to revamp his contract, which means he could be traded this offseason. So what happened to George Pickens placing on an FT? I mean, this is shocking to me because I have to blame one of the Jones family for this, for placing Pickens on a franchise tag. For George Pickens, does he want to be a Cowboy or does he want to leave Dallas to other teams? I mean, this is a situation. This is a situation you're going to go against Pickens during this throughout the offseason. This is an issue. Over the years, We've seen players who place on a franchise tag, and they're not satisfied with that. They're not satisfied with that because they're not getting timely big contracts. It could lead to severe frustration. George Pickens has got to be frustrated because he wants a contract without placing a franchise tag. I mean, this is a problem now. We've seen when the Falcons had placed Kyle Pitts on a franchise tag yesterday, and which means he could be traded this offseason. Kyle Pitts could be traded, or he could face a potential holdout. Pickens, I think Pickens will sit out in the preseason and sit out in the training camp. I mean, because it feels like he wants to be traded. He wants to leave Dallas. This is an issue because Jerry Jones is the reason why the person who doesn't trust with. And that's the case because it really hurts. It really hurts. So now, where the Cowboys is coming from, maybe it's a different story right now. When everything is not gone right, it's really different. It's a really different situation now. But this is what this is all about. It's about Dak Prescott situation. He got that situation with his contract. There's everything else you can learn from it. But I'm glad they brought this up because there's a lot of answers that gotta be. There's a lot of questions going to be asked. What do you think? What do you think? This is the difference. You think this is an issue right now? You already made it happen. That's the first thing. You made everything happen, and I'll tell you what. Maybe Dallas Cowboys didn't really need George Pickens with this team. It's really tough right now. It's a tough world right now. But it's not gonna help. That thing is not gonna help. No way. No way. But it is best to finish it. You think Dallas has something to improve with. So the Cowboys fans could be frustrated why they place Pickens on a franchise tag, because it feels like Dallas Cowboys team expect to not making the postseason. Troublesome. Excuse me. But this is ridiculous. They just don't want nothing to go your way. They say when you're struggling, you have to take yourself out. I mean, you've done everything else that you're asking. So I think this team will be okay to come around. So it is clean house in Dallas this offseason. there's so many questions that are going to be asked. So it's gonna be clean house right now in Dallas. They're just waiting for the right answers. They're just waiting for the right answers. There's no right answers right now. The way they've been used to do it, but they could have lost their minds like this. But Dallas is just still working with it, and there's just nothing to play with. So I think now they have to work DeMarvion Overshow to stay healthy, and hopefully he can be special for the Cowboys defense. Yes, he's been dealing with injuries, but he can break out at any time and any place. So I mean, it's already worth it. It's already worth your while. And for the Cowboys, you got no chance to sleep. You got to wake yourself up. But there's a goal difference. When the NFL is transpiring yourself right now, prove it. You had a pretty good chance to prove it. It's just because of that, you don't have any problems. You don't have any of these problems. They can go with it. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. If that's the case, then excuse me. Maybe that would help. This will help their cause a little bit. So you can lock it in, spin it. And now the only thing you can worry about is rebuilding their defensive roster. There's a lot of moves that gotta be made. And now, if George Pickens does intend to skip workouts, then it's going to affect the team in a timely manner, front and center, because the Cowboys defense gave up 511 points in 2025. That's the most in Cowboys history in a single season. This is when you add Christian Parker as a defensive coordinator, try to turn their defense around, try to carry these teams to the playoffs. I know the offense is going to be one of the tops in the NFL, but the defense is the worrisome the most. So this is an issue. We have an issue in Dallas. So you took multiple steps back and multiple steps forward. But George Pickens has to take care of himself. And that's the key. And they got the bottom of it. And because of that, it feels like the Dallas Cowboys have no trust, no no identity whatsoever. You would have not took that. And you already had some key moments that you have to make. This is a situation they really had to go around. So the cap space is about $70 million. It's a little heavy right now. The major trades is in question for Dallas. Will George Pickens leave Dallas? We'll have to find out in the next. We'll have to find out in the next couple of months or so. This is a situation. The future of Pickens are going against him, and that the three uncertain futures is A.J. Brown, Maxx Crosby, and now George Pickens. The main three have facing some uncertain futures after he placed on a franchise tag. So he could get a contract signed by the 15th of July. So that's the only chance you could get. That's the one lone opportunity. Sign or walk. This is a crucial few months for George Pickens. If you want to get this deal done before the 15th of July, so be it. I will give you a serious chance. Negotiations will be looming for George Pickens. I can tell you that. So that's the deciding factor right now. Going this, and you would have turned that way against you. That's the difference. So let's see if George Pickens can prove that for the next few months. All right, coming up next, we'll talk March Madness, update bracket, and then we'll wrap it up. What's coming up in our next episode for tomorrow, we'll step away. All right, welcome back to JDB's Morning Cap. March Madness is less than a month away. We'll update both men's and women's college basketball March Madness. Let's start with women's March Madness bracket. So, is there a change or no change? Number one is UConn, the Fort Worth Region 1. UConn is number one. They'll take on the weight of the winner between FDU and Howard. That's the 16th seed teams. And then number 8, Illinois takes on number 9, Syracuse. And then you got number 5, Minnesota. Number 12, Murray State. Then number 4, Kentucky takes on number 13, Georgia Southern. You got number 6, Baylor take on number 11, Columbia. You got number 3, Maryland take on number 14, Charleston. You got number 7, Notre Dame takes on number 10, Rhode Island. Number 2, LSU takes on number 15, Eastern Kentucky. That's the Fort Worth Region 1. Sacramento Region 4 has number 1, Texas, take on number 16, High Point. Number 8, Washington takes on number 9, Iowa State. Number 5, Ole Miss takes on number 12, Miami, Ohio. Number 4, Ohio State takes on number 13, Louisiana Tech. Number 6, Alabama takes on number 11, Rice. Number 3, TCU takes on number 14, Idaho. You got number 7, Tennessee take on number 10, Virginia. You got number 2, Michigan take on number 15, Western Illinois. Then you got Region 2, Sacramento region. Number 1, UCLA takes on number 16, California Baptist. Number 8, Oklahoma State take on number 9, Virginia Tech. Number 5 is West Virginia taking number 12, San Diego State. Number 4, Oklahoma takes on number 13, UC Irvine. Number 6, Texas Tech will take on the weight of the winner of the first 4, number 11, Princeton, and number 11, Nebraska. Give me a second. And then we got number 3, Louisville, take on Vermont. Number 14, Vermont. You got number 7, USC Trojans, take on number 10, Clemson Tigers. Number 2, Vanderbilt, take on number 15, Navy. That's the Region 2, Sacramento. Region 3 is Fort Worth. Number 1, South Carolina, taking on number 16. The weight of the winner of the first 4, number 16, Alabama A&M, and Alabama A&M will take on Chattanooga for the first 4, women's first 4. Number 8, Oregon, take on number 9, Villanova. Number 5, North Carolina will face the winner of their choice of the first 4 between number 12, Mississippi State, and Colorado. Number 4, Michigan State takes on number 13, Green Bay. Number 6, Georgia takes on number 11, Fairfield. Number 3, Duke takes on number 14, McNeese. Number 7, NC State takes on number 10, North Dakota State. Number 2, Iowa takes on number 15, LMU. All right, so here are the last 4 byes: Villanova, Virginia Tech, Virginia, Clemson. Last 4 in: Mississippi State, Colorado, Princeton, and Nebraska. First 4 teams out: Arizona State, Utah, Kansas, and Richmond. Next 4 out: Stanford, South Dakota State, California, Berkeley, and BYU. So right now, the most teams in the conference in the bracket, Big Ten has 12. SEC has 11, ACC with 9, Big 12 7, Big East 2, Ivy League with 2 as well. So what are my thoughts on the women's bracket? Well, there's a few thoughts. I think UConn is number 1 in the country in the women's college basketball. It's pretty convincing, to say the least. I think they're a championship convincing team, pretty much. You can face Texas or South Carolina. I mean, women's college basketball, and then UCLA is probably in the mix as well for the women's national championship. But there's few teams who could be number 1 in the country or number 1 in the region. I mean, those are you're facing these similar situations that you really gotta have. So there's few changes along the way. All right, let's transition to men's NCAA tournament. Who is actually number 1 in the country? Duke is the best team in the country after they beat Michigan last Saturday in Washington, D.C. So these two could see again in the national championship. So let's get the East region. Number 1 is Duke. We'll take on number 16, Appalachian State. You got number 8, Iowa, take on number 9, Georgia. Then you got number 5, St. John's, take on number 12, Liberty. Number 4, Alabama, takes on number 13, North Dakota State. You got number 6, Louisville, take on the winner of the first 4 between 11 seed Missouri and Santa Clara. Number 3 is Kansas, take on number 14, Austin Peay. Number 7, Utah State takes on number 10, UCF. Number 2, Purdue takes on number 15, Utah Tech. And then you got the South region. Number 1, UConn will take on the winner of the first 4 between number 16, UMBC. Take on Howard, both 16 seeds, or battle for the first 4. Number 8, Kentucky take on number 9, Clemson. Then you got number 5, Arkansas take on number 12, Yale. Number 4, Texas Tech will take on number 13, UNC Wilmington. You got number 6, St. Louis take on number 11, Miami, Ohio. You got number 3, Nebraska take on number 14, Navy. Then you got number 7, Wisconsin take on number 10, Texas. Number 2, Houston takes on number 15, Portland State. Houston lost to Kansas, by the way, last night. It's been a struggle for Houston as of late. Number 1, Michigan. Actually, let's take a look at the Midwest region. Number 1, Michigan takes on the winner of the first 4 between SE, Missouri, take on BCU. They're both number 16 seeds in their respective regions. Number 8, SMU will take on number 9, Texas A&M. Number 5, Vanderbilt takes on number 12, Belmont. Number 4, Virginia take on number 13, Stephen F. Austin. You got number 6, North Carolina will take on the winner of the first 4 between number 11, TCU, and New Mexico. And then you got number 3, Florida takes on number 14, ETSU. And then you got number 7, Villanova take on number 10, UCLA. You got number 2, Iowa State take on number 15, Wright State. That's the Midwest region. The West region has number 1, Arizona take on number 16, Long Island. Then you got number 8, Miami take on number 9, St. Mary's. You got number 5, Tennessee take on number 12, South Florida. You got number 4, Michigan State take on number 13, High Point. You got number 6, BYU take on number 11, Indiana. You got number 3, Gonzaga take on number 14, UC Irvine. You got number 7, NC State take on number 10, Auburn. You got number 2, Illinois take on number 15, Merrimack. That's the West region. Here are the last 4 byes: Texas, UCLA, Auburn, and Indiana. Last 4 in Missouri, Santa Clara, TCU, New Mexico. Here's the first 4 out: Ohio State, USC, California, Berkeley, San Diego State. The next 4 out: VCU, Virginia Tech, Seton Hall, and West Virginia. Most teams in the conference in the NCAA tournament, SEC has 11, Big Ten has 9, ACC has 8, Big 12 has 8 as well, Big East 3, West Coast 3, Mountain West 2. Let's talk about the number 1 seeds in the country chaotically. So Arizona, the last couple of weeks, Arizona was number 1, but lost twice this week. Then Michigan was number 1, lost to Duke. Duke is number 1, but Duke plays Notre Dame tonight in South Bend. So this is a big game for Duke to get to this point, to get to the rhythm, get to the opportunities they really afforded with. Now Duke is favored to win the number 1 in the country. Because of that, right now, here are the real rankings right now. Real top 25 rankings. Number 1 is Duke. Number 2, Arizona. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, Iowa State. Number 5, Houston. Number 6, UConn. Number 7, Florida. Number 8, Purdue. Number 9, Gonzaga. Number 10, Illinois. Number 11, Virginia. Number 12, Nebraska. Number 13, Michigan State. Number 14, Kansas. They had a win last night over Houston in Kansas. Number 15, St. John's. Number 16, Texas Tech. Number 17, Alabama. Number 18, UNC. Number 19, BYU. Number 20, Arkansas. Number 21, Miami, Ohio. Number 22, Tennessee. Number 23, St. Louis. Number 24, Louisville. And number 25, Vanderbilt. So those are the top 25 men's college basketball rankings. So who will take the number one? I mean, hopefully Duke gets this one. If they don't, then that's disappointing, because when we get to the conference tournament, or they can end the regular season against North Carolina, they're home for North Carolina starting beginning of March, around second week of March. So this is what happens for this one. For women's top 25, UConn number 1, UCLA number 2, South Carolina number 3, Texas number 4, Vanderbilt number 5, LSU number 6, Oklahoma number 7, Michigan number 8, Iowa number 9, Louisville number 10, number 11 is TCU, Duke is number 12, Ohio State number 13, number 14 Maryland, Michigan State number 15, Kentucky number 16, number 17 is West Virginia, number 18 Baylor, number 19 Ole Miss, number 20 Texas Tech, number 21 University of North Carolina, number 22 Minnesota, number 23 Georgia, number 24 Alabama, and number 25 Princeton. That's women's top 25 college basketball. So UConn will hold on to number 1 seed, because I think they're the best team in women's college basketball, and they have a chance to win the women's national championship. So I think both men's and women's March Madness will be entertaining, because I believe we may see some epic upsets. We've seen some epic comebacks. We've seen some final moments of any of these rounds. So we could be more excited that both men's and women's March Madness is approaching less than a month. Selection show is less than 3 weeks away. So this should be excited right now as well. So hopefully we'll turn the corner in this one here. So this should be good right now. All right, coming up, we're gonna wrap things up, and what's coming up in our next episode tomorrow. So we're gonna step away in about 3 minutes, if that's going to be the case. So don't adjust your seatbelts. We'll be right back. All right, let's wrap things up. All right, let's see what's coming up in our next episode for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk the battle of the best records in the NBA. Thunder takes on the Pistons in Boulder City. That should be a great game. Maybe NBA Finals preview. Option 2, or option 1, I should say. So this should be a good moment. That would have happened if that's going to be the case. Also, we'll talk NFL rule changes about replaying, control more. We'll talk about that tomorrow as it develops. We're also going to talk about the Knicks and the Cavs. They're playing tonight. Cleveland. Knicks up the season series 2-0. Knicks looking for a sweep against the Red Hot Cavaliers. The Cavs have won 7 of their last 8 games. Also, we'll talk New York Yankees. Chance to get to the World Series, but chance to reach the World Series for the second time in 3 years. All right, that's it. This is JDB Morgat. We'll see you. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.